Welcome to an overview of myNGconnect for National Geographic Science grades 3 through 5. If you are a kindergarten, first, and/or second grade teacher, please stop this video recording and return to the one specifically done for grades K, 1, and 2, as the content here will only apply to grades 3 through 5. When you enter into myNGconnect.com, you'll notice on the left an opportunity for students to sign in, and on the right an opportunity for teachers or educators to sign in. If you do not have your login information, please stop the video and check with your district administrator so that that information can be provided to you. You can watch as I move through this in about 10 minutes, giving you a great overview of the things you will find within this website. So let's go ahead and move into myNGconnect.com, and when you get here, this will be the landing page. This is the landing page for grades 3, 4, and/or 5. You see the name of the product here on the left-hand side, but as you follow my cursor to the right, in the profile window, you see my name, but you'll see your name as well as the grade level. I am going to be using National Geographic Science grade 4 as we move through this walkthrough, but it will look the same for grades 3 and for grades 5. If you teach more than one product with National Geographic, by clicking your profile, you are going to find the content applicable to your grade level. Let me do that again. You'll find all of the content applicable for what you are using from National Geographic. Hopefully you don't have as many things in yours as I do, but in case you do, make sure you always choose the appropriate title that you are working with for the moment. You'll also find to the right of that menu, to the right of your profile, your menu bar. I rarely, if ever, use this menu bar because the menu bar will show you things that you can access within the web portal, but I typically will access those things from the teacher tools of the home page. And we'll get to those teacher tools in just a moment. Let's begin with this image. You'll notice a message that says click to view books. All of your e-editions are here. So if you click anywhere within this image, you are going to find your resources. If you are using life science, earth science, or physical science, I am going to use the earth science book for this model as we move through. Once I choose earth science, look at the resources I have available by scrolling. I see my entire teacher's edition. I see the Big Ideas book. I also find the Science Inquiry and Writing book in a PDF form. The Science Methods and Process Skills book, again in a PDF form. The Teacher's Guide to Support the Science Methods and Process Skills, as well as those titles from the Explore on Your Own from National Geographic, the Pioneer and the Pathfinder versions. And these are great readers for your students if you want them to have access to those. They are embedded within myNGconnect. I am going to spend just a moment actually in the student book before I go back to the teacher resources. So when I am in the student book, let me actually start on the opening page. It remembered where I was the last time. So as I move into it, I see all of my support for my program reviewers, and I actually get to the table of contents. From the table of contents, you'll notice it looks exactly like the student book, but you'll also notice those icons representing what's accessible to students online. Your entire student book is available to students online, and if we want to move to chapter 1 of the Earth Science book, without clicking through each individual page, I just want to jump to page 5. So I'm going to highlight the text, put a 5 here, and hit enter on my keyboard, and it takes me to the beginning of the unit. Every unit within National Geographic Science begins with a Meet the Explorer. And so students have the opportunity to meet and explore relative to that content for that unit. So in Earth Science of grade 4, we meet Beverly Goodman, a geoarchaeologist. And students will have the opportunity to listen to the text that is here on the page, or even view the video where they actually meet Beverly Goodman. Let's go ahead and turn one page. When we turn one page, we are at the beginning of the unit of Chapter 1. Again, the audio support is embedded, and then you'll also see support with some of the digital resources that we'll look at momentarily. I do want to turn another page so that you can see the science vocabulary cards. They also have audio support for students. Students can listen to them as much as they want, but I also want you to notice those vocabulary games. It's not just about students writing the word 5,327,000 times, but these are games so that students are interacting with those vocabulary words and learning their meaning and how they will be used within the content. I will turn with you one more page so that you can see text for this particular chapter. I personally love this one, especially due to the visuals. So we are comparing the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. And if you look at this image here, this is the size of the moon as we see this basketball image here. And comparatively, this little blue dot right here is the size of the Earth. And then comparatively, this would be the size of the moon. So one of the things you will learn with this program is that we use visuals to help students get an understanding of the content we want them to know. And that is going to be consistent across each and every grade level. Let me return home for a moment. Going back to the home page, again, all of your ebooks are behind this image, so you would just click into it. But I do want to spend our last few minutes looking at these teacher tools. I'm going into the digital library so that you can see it. And let's say that I want to go to Earth. Well, not go to Earth, but go to the content for Earth. And in this particular one, it says no results were found. So let me move to, let's say, Sun, Moon, and Stars, since that's the unit we were typically looking at, learning about comparing the Sun, the Moon, and Earth. So there are actually 117 different items here. No, I will not click through them all, but there are 5 pages of text. Some of them will be video clips, and some of them might just be images. They've already been sorted for you, the teacher, so that you can really narrow down exactly what you're looking for. Again, I'm going to go back to the home page. That's all found within your digital library. From the digital library, I do want to touch upon your teacher resources. I believe as teachers, you'll spend a lot of time here. As I open up my teacher resources, you'll notice I'm in Life Science of Level 4 is where it defaults, but I want to go into Earth Science since that's the unit we were looking at. I could access my unit launch video where students would meet Beverly Goodman. I could access it from the teacher page, but remember, it is at point of use in the student book. I see my digital library. I see the content for the content available for each chapter, the Read With Me, the Inquiry e-help, enrichment activities, as well as those vocabulary games. I will not take the time to open up each of these with the exception of one. I want you to know the purpose of that Inquiry e-help. As students move through the Explore activity and the directed activities within the text, the Inquiry e-help provides for you, the teacher, a description of what should be going on within the investigation. This particular one happens to be 2 pages in length. So as a teacher, I would actually have this available, accessible to me on my tablet, on my iPad, or even if I go old school and have it printed out, I would have this information available to me as my students are moving through this investigation, Investigate Moon Phases. Let me close this resource and go again back to my home page. You know what, I did not mean to go to the home page just yet because we have not looked at assessments. So we have information by chapters, and below the last chapter, you'll notice your Learning Masters and your assessment resources. So there are assessment resources that are available for you as you move through. There's a benchmark test, there are open inquiry rubrics, there's a student profile. All of those informations are available for you to use as you move through these assessments. We also do have Exam View, which is a downloadable CD-ROM that you could use as well. I'm going to return home one last time and very quickly show you the lesson planner. You do have a lesson plan that is built within your instruction for within your textbook, but I want to create a lesson plan. And let's say, since I see I have one created for Earth Science, let me create one now then for Life Science. And I want to start my instruction today, or today for me, and I will look at Life Science, and I just want to use the standard plan. You see there's an accelerated plan which condenses the information for you, but I'm just going to choose the standard plan. Once I do this and hit save, you'll notice that if I go back, because this does say September, and I'm pretty sure I started my unit it for the 30th. I did. And so I see my content for this unit. I could actually move through the weeks to see how many weeks it would take. I would just let you know, on average, a unit of science in National Geographic Science takes between 8 to 10 weeks to complete the entire unit. You could condense that if you have more time that you're spending each day, or you could extend that if you are doing all of the investigations and activities associated with the program. One last time, I will go home, and so to remind you again, all of your ebooks are here. The resources that you will probably use the most will be your teacher resources and your digital library. You might use the lesson planner somewhat, and know that in the professional development site, I will take a moment just to do this. Know that in that professional development tab, you do have getting started resources for National Geographic Science. So you can click on your on-demand training and actually see all types of support for getting started with this program. I hope that you enjoy your school year with National Geographic Science, and we look forward to helping you explore even more with these digital resources.